The following is transcribed.
Welcome to Condensed Bat-Supe. Now with 66% fewer superheroes than our regular podcast, which makes Condensed Bat-Supe even less nutritious, but still just as delicious. We're featuring episodes of the adventures of Superman without the caped crusaders. Tie on your capes for lots of clandestine planning, plenty of decisive action, and despicable acts galore. In this edition of Condensed Bat-Supe, we're kicking off a brand new storyline, one that's steeped in post-war thinking, but altogether too current. It's Chapter 1 of The Knights of the White Carnation, as originally broadcast on February 26, 1947.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, present
The Adventures of Superman. Today, Superman is unaware that while Metropolis sleeps, an ugly menace to America is being prepared to strike against the freedom and well-being of all Americans.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. Say, have you noticed how many different kinds of characters there are in that new series of comic buttons Kellogg's Pep is putting out? There are blondes, like Cindy, and redheads like Brenda Starr, and kids like Judy and Corky, and heroes like Superman. Yes, sir, among those 18 different funny paper characters, you'll find all sorts of pictures. That's one reason that these Pep comic buttons look so nifty when you wear them pinned on your jacket or your dress or cap. They really show up. As for doggone good fun, well, nothing beats the thrill of getting a new button whenever Mom opens a new package of Pep. And trading duplicates with your pals, too. And are these buttons easy to get? You don't have to send in a single penny, not even a box stop. And you can't buy them anywhere. All you do is to ask Mom to get you some Kellogg's Pep and look inside the package for your prize. And say, while you're about it, get a load of how terrific these toasty whole wheat flakes taste at breakfast on a cold morning. Crisp and tender and fresh as can be. And loaded with a catchy sunshine flavor that keeps you digging right in for more. Pep is called the Sunshine Cereal. Gives you good old sunshine vitamin D. So ask Mom to get you some P-E-P, the Sunshine Cereal, Kellogg's Pep.
And now, the adventures of Superman. As our story opens today, our scene is the handsome townhouse of Vincent Kirby, member of an old and aristocratic Metropolis family. In the rich oak-paneled library of the house, 6 men are seated around a table. In each of their lapels, a white carnation stands out against the dark, conservative material of their business suits. A number of identical newspaper clippings, obviously a reproduction of a photograph of a basketball team, are scattered on the table. Fingering one of the clippings, Vincent Kirby clears his throat.
I call your attention, gentlemen, to this photograph of the Metropolis High School varsity basketball team, which appeared in the Daily Planet February the 24th. You'll note the caption above the picture reads, "Undefeated Metropolis 5 grooming for a state championship." The caption below the picture states, "The Metropolis High School basketball team, undefeated in 16 games. Winner of the All-City Crown, is now pointing for the state championship test at the Armory tomorrow night. The quintet Coach Reed will place on the court includes, left to right, Casimir Pulaski, Michael Kelly, Tony Rizzuti, Phil Kaplan, and Jack Wilson." Now, gentlemen, I call your attention to the fact that of the 5 basketball players named, only one, Jack Wilson, is an American. The rest are foreigners. Doesn't it seem rather odd to you that in a great American city like Metropolis, 4 out of the 5 members of our championship basketball team should be foreigners? Isn't it a little shocking to discover that names like Pulaski, Kelly, Rizzuti, and Kaplan overbalance a good American name like Wilson 4-1?
Very good point.
Yes, gentlemen, it is shocking. Not only shocking, but disgraceful. Not only disgraceful, but dangerous. Now, as you know, I organized the Knights of the White Carnation, of which you are all members, to fight for the preservation of Americanism and to defend ourselves against the poisonous propaganda of foreigners, whose only desire is to overthrow our democratic government. And I call upon you now to join with me to eliminate such things as this newspaper clipping indicates. Foreigners taking the places of decent American boys.
Just a moment, Mr. Kirby.
Huh? Yes, Canfield?
Don't you think you're going a little off the handle, Mr. Kirby?
I beg your pardon.
What I'd like to say is this. Has it occurred to you that perhaps the reason Pulaski, Kelly, Rizzuti, and Kaplan are on the Metropolis varsity team is that they're better basketball players than my son or yours?
I assure you, Canfield, American boys can play basketball fully as well as foreigners. And furthermore, whether they can or not, I, for one, refuse to stand by and permit our boys, our American boys, to suffer by comparison with foreigners. If necessary, we'll get rid of the foreigners, not only off the team, but out of the school. Now, you got anything to say to that, Canfield?
Yes, I have. To begin with, I can assure you the 4 boys named in this newspaper clipping are not foreigners.
What would you call them?
Americans.
Really? Does Pulaski sound like an American name to you? Casimir Pulaski? I suppose you'll tell me his ancestors came over on the Mayflower.
No, but one of his ancestors, the Polish patriot, General Pulaski, was in this country before your people ever dreamed of coming here. He fought in the American Revolution. And if you study the Metropolis Street Guide, you'll find that Pulaski Street was named after him. And another thing. Wouldn't you be proud to have your oldest son enrolled at West Point?
Yes, but I don't see what that has to do with the question at hand, Canfield.
It has this much to do with it. Another famous Polish patriot, a man named Kosciuszko, designed and built the original West Point Military Academy.
I don't believe it.
You're at liberty to consult either a history book or an encyclopedia on that.
I'm not interested in consulting anything. My only purpose is to see
I'm beginning
that...
to understand what your purpose is, Mr. Kirby. When I consented to join your Knights of the White Carnation, I was under the impression it was going to be a group of intelligent Metropolis businessmen dedicated to the preservation of the American Constitution and the Bill of Rights. A group that would actively combat the influences of communism, fascism, and all other isms created to destroy freedom of speech, action, and religion.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
I'm afraid not. I see it now as a group of narrow, bigoted men attempting to create intolerance, prejudice, and hatred among different races and creeds. And I see you, Mr. Kirby, as an individual fully as dangerous as Hitler or Mussolini.
How dare you say a thing like that? How dare you?
Unfortunately, it's true, Mr. Kirby. You could easily be another Hitler. This meeting could just as easily have taken place in pre-war Germany.
I demand an immediate apology for those slanderous remarks, Mr. Canfield.
You'll get no apology, Kirby. But what you will get is this white carnation, which I'm ashamed to say I wore even for a moment. You picked a white flower as your symbol because white indicates purity. But all the surface purity in the world can't cover the rotten odor of hatred. And I don't like the smell of it.
Canfield, you've said enough to make it clear that you don't belong here.
You're right, I don't. I'm getting out, Kirby, as fast as I can. But before I go, let me warn you. Not only am I withdrawing from this hate-mongering group you call the Knights of the White Carnation, but I'm going to fight you tooth and nail and expose you on the front page of every decent newspaper in America. Good night.
Gentlemen, please. Now, there's nothing to become alarmed about. Canfield's a fool. Our mistake was inviting him to join us in the first place.
Yes, but now he can ruin everything we planned to do. You heard what he said. He threatened to expose us to the press.
You seem to forget that I own a controlling interest in the Metropolis Daily Sentinel.
Yes, but you don't own the Daily Planet or the Blade or the Ledger. Canfield is a friend of Perry White, editor of the Planet. And the Planet is the most powerful newspaper in the States.
What difference does that make? Are we afraid of anything?
Well, no, but I feel that we...
However, I agree that Canfield might make things difficult for us.
We should have tried to pacify him.
You can't pacify a rattlesnake, Williams. But you can make him harmless by pulling his fangs. And that's exactly what we're going to do. pull Mr. Canfield's fangs.
How?
Just leave it to me.
What is Vincent Kirby planning to do? How can he stop Charles Canfield from exposing the Knights of the White Carnation? We'll know in a moment when we return for the exciting climax of today's episode. So keep listening.
You know, gang, I don't believe I know a fellow or girl who doesn't get a kick out of following Superman's adventures in the funny papers and listening to him right on the radio. So it's mighty swell that Kellogg's Pep included him in this new series of comic buttons you're all collecting. There he is, big and powerful and handsome, his bright red cape flying in the wind. And all the other pictures of your favorite comic strip characters are just as true to life. From Pat Patton and Tess Trueheart right on through Chief Brandon and Vitamin Flintheart and Judy and Corky. There were 18 new and different comic strip characters and all, you know, and you'll want to have the fun of collecting them all. So hop to it, gang. Remind Mom to keep you stocked up with plenty of Kellogg's Pep. You know, that's the prize package where you get your comic buttons. You don't send in any money, not even a box stop. And you can't buy these comic buttons anywhere. But you get one in every package of Pep you open. That's Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal. Pep, the golden toasted whole wheat flakes with that catchy sunshine flavor. Pep, the dish that tastes just as good as it is good for you. So get Kellogg's Pep, gang. That's P-E-P. The Sunshine cereal, Kellogg's Pep.
As we continue now, still seething at the attitude of men he had always considered decent, honorable citizens, Canfield has returned to his home and, parking his car in the garage adjoining the house, walks down the driveway. As he nears the street, a man with his coat collar up around his neck and the snap brim of a felt hat shielding his face steps out of the darkness.
Got a match, mister?
Sorry, never carry them. Don't smoke.
You're Charles Canfield, ain't you?
Why, yes.
Cars 17, 22, and 28 proceed at once to 965 Lake Drive. Code 77. Urgent. Cars 17, 22, and 28.
Metropolis. Charles Canfield, prominent Metropolis businessman and civic worker, was last night the victim of an armed bandit who stabbed and killed him on the sidewalk outside his residence at 965 Lake Drive.
Oh, Kent, drop whatever you're doing.
What?
And get down to police headquarters.
Oh, look, Chief, I just started.
Don't argue with me. Do as I say.
What about this monkey burglar story? I just
turn
began.
your notes over to Lois. Turn them over. Let her finish it.
Okay, but what's all the rush?
I just learned that Charles Canfield was murdered last night.
Yes, I know. It came in on the teletype early this morning. Another of those mugging killings.
Yeah, that's what you think.
What do you mean that's what I think? According to Inspector Henderson's
That's
statement...
exactly why I want you to get down to headquarters. Tell Henderson we want the truth.
The truth about what?
Now, look. Canfield called me at home last night. It was pretty close to midnight. He said he was phoning from a booth in a drugstore.
Yes?
He made a date to have lunch with me today.
I don't get the connection.
He said he had a story that would blow Metropolis wide open.
Great Scott, you...
Canfield was murdered, Kent. And I think he was murdered to keep him quiet.
Yes, Mr. White, Charles Canfield was murdered. Not only to keep him quiet, but because he dared defend the truly American principle of fair play and equality against a group of men preaching the doctrine of hate. The Knights of the White Carnation have struck their first vicious blow, and the petals of their flowers are touched with blood. What will happen now? Can Clark Kent, even as Superman, track them down before they strike again? This is only the beginning of one of Superman's most exciting adventures. So be sure to join with him each weekday at this same time as the Man of Steel meets the poisonous challenge of the Knights of the White Carnation. Listen tomorrow, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at this same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. Say, gang, there's almost no end to the fun you can have with Kellogg's Variety. That's the white, green, and red Kellogg package with 10 individual packages of your favorite Kellogg cereals like Corn Flakes and Rice Krispies and Pep. Every morning you can pick out your own private box of cereal. Makes breakfast a picnic. And Sister will get a kick out of the cutout dolls on the bottom of the tray. Cut them out and dress them up and play all sorts of games with them. So tell Mom to be sure to get Kellogg's Variety. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
And now, faster than a speeding bullet, Condensed Bat-Supe proudly presents Chapter 2 of The Knights of the White Carnation, as originally broadcast on February 27th, 1947.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, while Superman makes an effort to get behind the murder of Charles Canfield, the men who call themselves the Knights of the White Carnation strike another blow at democracy.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal, Dan McCullough. You know, when there are both boys and girls in a family, there's pretty sure to be a lot of good-natured rivalry. And that's just exactly what's happening with the collections of that new series of comic buttons from packages of Kellogg's Pep. Brothers and sisters are racing like anything to see who can collect the most different funny paper characters. Yes, there's a lot of excitement every time Mom opens a new package of Pep. And there's a great business of trading duplicates, too. And, of course, you're always mighty proud to pin a new Pep comic button with the others on your jacket or your dress or cap. Now, you'll want to collect all 18 of these new series buttons. Vitamin Flintheart and Spud and Superman and all the rest. And if you don't want to be left behind, you better ask Mom to get you some more Kellogg's Pep. That's how easy it is to get these prizes. You don't send in any money, not even a box top. And you can't buy them anywhere. But you get a comic button in every package of Kellogg's Pep you open. And you get something else, too. A doggone delicious dish for breakfast. Pep is called the Sunshine Cereal. Those whole wheat flakes are brim full of catchy sunshine flavor. The kind of sunny flavor that's so good on a cold morning. So ask Mom for lots of P-E-P. The Sunshine Cereal, Kellogg's Pep.
And now, the adventures of Superman. At a secret meeting of 6 prominent Metropolis businessmen who call themselves the Knights of the White Carnation, Vincent Kirby, their leader, draws attention to a photograph of the Metropolis High School basketball team published in the Daily Planet. Venomously, Kirby pointed out that 4 of the boys on the team were obviously of foreign descent, and as such, should not be permitted to play. Angered by this hate-mongering attitude, Charles Canfield, a wealthy industrialist, called Kirby un-American. He then resigned from the group and frankly announced he would do everything in his power to expose the Knights of the White Carnation to the public. Alarmed, Kirby made a phone call, and early the following morning, Clark Kent and Perry White learned that Charles Canfield had been found dead, with a knife in his back. As we continue now, we find Kent, who, as we know, is Superman, and cub reporter Jimmy Olsen at police headquarters, where they are trying to get a statement from Inspector Henderson. Listen.
Hello, Kent. I've already issued a statement. I've said that Canfield was apparently killed by a stick-up man, a mugger, as he was about to enter his home on Lake Drive. That's all we know at present.
I'm sure it isn't all you know.
Yeah? What makes you so sure?
Because even I know more than that.
Yeah, so do I.
Say, what are you trying to do? Trick me into talking?
Inspector, how could you ever dream of such a
We
thing?
never do a thing like that, Inspector.
Now, you keep your 2 cents out of this half-pint.
Half-pint? Leaping lizards.
Now, look
can't-
here, Kent. I want to...
Believe me, Inspector, this is all on the level. We have some valuable information, and we're ready to make a bargain. You talk, and we'll talk.
Huh? What What kind of information?
Information that may lead to the arrest of the man who killed Charles Canfield?
I don't believe it.
Meaning to imply that I'm not telling the truth? That I'm a liar? Is that it?
Now, take it easy, Ken.
Well,
take
you're
it
just-
easy. All right. We ought to know better than to try to keep anything from you. Come on up to the crime detection lab, and I'll show you what we've got. Here's the story the way we shape it up. When Canfield's body was found on the sidewalk in front of his house, nothing was missing from his pockets but his wallet. He had a gold fountain pen and a pencil set, a diamond stick pin, and this watch. A watch worth at least $1,000, all of which might add up to one thing.
It wasn't just an ordinary holdup.
Right. Whoever did it wanted it to look like a holdup and grabbed his wallet, but forgot the rest of the stuff.
Or else he got frightened away before he had a chance.
You may have something there, Jim.
We thought of that, but it doesn't gel because the body was discovered by the milkman at 5:30 in the morning. Now, there are only 2 houses on that street. Evidently, nobody walked by after Canfield was night, so the chances of the guy being scared off are slim.
Well, then the net of it is you believe it was a planned murder that was supposed to look like a stick-up.
Now, wait a minute. I didn't say anything of the sort. And don't you go printing that, or I'll have you thrown into jail for intimidating an officer of the law.
Who am I intimidating?
Me. You're trying to put words into my mouth. Now, all I said
Relax,
was that...
Inspector, relax. Strangely enough, I agree with you.
Huh? What about?
I agree with you that Canfield was murdered.
I never said
I know
that.
you didn't, but the information I have matches up with that theory.
Yeah, it fits like a piece of a jigsaw puzzle.
Huh? Well, I talked. Now it's your turn.
Well, here it is. Last night about midnight, Charles Canfield called the editor of the Planet, Perry White, from a drugstore phone booth. He made an appointment for lunch with him today and told him he had a story that would blow Metropolis wide open.
Is this on the level, Kent?
Strictly on the level.
Around midnight, huh?
Uh-huh.
The medical examiner figured he was killed between midnight and 1 a.m.
That was after he made the phone call.
That clinches it. Kent, I want to thank you.
Hey, how about me?
And you too, Half-Pint.
Oh, Inspector, please stop calling me that.
Half-Pint Olson, the demon reporter.
Hey, you too?
Now, I can't fool around. I've got to go to work. And, Kent, you won't blast this on the front page until we get our teeth into it, will you?
Of course not.
I will, unless you cut out that half-pint stuff.
You know what I'll do to you.
What?
Nothing. Now, look. All joking aside, this is a serious matter. Canfield, as far as we know, didn't have an enemy in the world. He was well-liked, respected, and one of the leading businessmen of the city. He was chairman of the community chest, president of the Chamber of Commerce, on the hospital board and the board of charities, and one of the directors of the Metropolis Trust Company. A wealthy, solid citizen who never had a word of scandal attached to either himself or his family. In fact, he never even got a ticket for parking. And yet someone hated him enough to murder him in cold blood.
It doesn't make sense. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe it was still just a stick-up man who didn't have brains enough to take the watch and the rest of the stuff.
I doubt it, Jim. No clues on the body, Inspector? No indications to where Canfield had been?
Nothing we could find. Outside of personal effects, all he had in his pockets was this newspaper clipping.
Oh, let me see it. Hey, it looks like a clip from the Planet.
Oh, it is. It's my story.
What?
Your story?
Yeah, I write the high school sports news, you know.
Oh.
This is the story I did yesterday on the Metropolis High basketball team. See, here's a picture of the team.
Mm-hmm.
They play their first round for the state championship tonight at the Armory. They're a cinch to win.
Now, why would Canfield be carrying a clipping about a high school basketball team?
Yeah, you've got me. But I don't think it's important one way or the other.
I'm not so sure about that. Jim,
Yeah?
say the Metropolis team's playing at the Armory tonight?
Mm-hmm, against Cedar Falls.
Uh-huh.
And they'll win in a walk. With Pulaski and Kaplan and Rossetti.
Did you get tickets for the game?
What do I need tickets for? I sit in the press box.
Oh. Well, is it all right for me to sit there?
Oh, sure, it's all right. You really want to go?
Uh-huh.
Hey, what's on your mind, Kent?
I'll tell you after I see the game, Inspector. Let's go, Jim.
Well, here are our seats, Mr. Kent. Pretty good, huh?
Swell, Jim. Say, quite a turnout here tonight.
Yeah, full house.
You figure Metropolis can't lose, is that it?
Oh, not a chance. Pulaski and Kaplan are crackerjack forwards. Jack Wilson's the best center in the state.
Uh-huh.
And when it comes to guards, Michael Kelly and Tony Rizzuti are tops.
Ah, here comes one of the teams.
Oh, that's Cedar Falls.
Hey, they look big and fast, Jim.
Oh, sure, but we'll take them. You know, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Hey, look at them snap that ball around. Not bad at all.
Oh, well, you see our boys. They'll be out in a minute. Watch Pulaski drop him in from midcourt. He's terrific. Say, by the way.
Yeah?
How come you wanted to see this game tonight? I meant to ask you.
I like basketball.
Oh, go on. That's not the reason. You got some kind of an idea. Something you don't want to tell me, huh?
Not at all, Jim. It's just that
Oh, here comes the Metropolis team.
Oh, yeah.
That's Jack Wilson. He's captain and center, running in front with the ball.
Looks like a good man.
Yeah. And the next one... Hey, that's funny.
What's the matter?
Well, that's not our team.
Not your team.
No. Except for Jack Wilson, none of our first-team players are on the floor.
That so?
Yeah. Those guys on the floor are all subs.
Maybe the coach decided to start the second team.
No. He gave me the starting lineup this afternoon. There's something wrong, Mr. Kent. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure something's gone wrong.
Worried and puzzled, Jimmy Olsen and the huge crowd in the armory roar out in protest as only one member of the Metropolis High first team takes the court for the championship game. What does this mean? We'll find out in a moment when we return for the startling climax of today's episode. So keep listening.
You know, gang, it's a good idea now and then to check over your collection of comic buttons in that new series from packages of Kellogg's Pep and see how you're coming along. Because you won't want to miss out on a single one. No, sir. You'll want Tess Trueheart and Goofy and Beezy and Superman and all the rest of those 18 new and different comic buttons. What's more, you wouldn't want to miss the excitement of trading duplicates with your pals. And you're mighty proud to wear your collection pinned on your jacket or your dress or your cap because they're so doggone smart looking, bright colored and gleaming as anything. And you know, the best part is these Pep comic buttons are so easy to get. You don't have to send in a single penny, not even a box stop. And you can't buy them anywhere. All you do is to make sure that Mom keeps you supplied with Kellogg's Pep. Because there's a comic button inside every package of Pep you open. And is there a load of good eating in a package of Kellogg's Pep? Pep looks so doggone golden and inviting that, well, you can hardly wait to start right in. And your first spoonful of these sunny whole wheat flakes tastes so good, you settle right down for a real session, believe me. So ask Mom to get P-E-P, the Sunshine Cereal, Kellogg's Pep.
Clark Kent, Jimmy Olsen, and a capacity crowd in the armory have been startled to see the Metropolis High basketball team take the floor for a championship game with a quintet consisting of 4 substitutes and 1 regular. Puzzled, Jim turns to Kent and says,
The coach told me just this afternoon that he's starting the first team. Now this setup with 4 subs has me worried.
Does seem strange, Jim. Considering that this is the opening game for the state championship.
Yeah. That's why I'm sure something's wrong.
Yeah?
We won't have a chance against Cedar Falls without our regulars.
Must be some explanation, Jim. Oh, wait a minute. Here it comes. See, there's a man walking out on the floor with a public address microphone. See?
Where?
Over there.
Oh, yeah. That's Coach Reed.
Oh?
He teaches science, too. I had him when I went to Metropolis.
Oh, did you?
Have your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're all wondering why 4 members of Metropolis High's team are not on the floor tonight.
You said it.
I have been asked to announce that the reason for the absence from the floor of Tony Rizzuti, Casimir Pulaski, Bill Kaplan, and Michael Kelly is that they have been suspended from the team.
What? Suspended?
Because they are suspected of having dealt with professional gamblers.
What?
Uh-oh, there's your answer, Jim.
Answer nothing. It's a lie. A dirty, rotten lie.
Stunned and enraged, Jimmy screams out his answer to the announcement made by the coach of the Metropolis team. An answer echoed in the pounding feet and shouted protests of the huge crowd. Strangely enough, the 4 boys who have been suspended were the same 4 boys Vincent Kirby, the cold, ruthless leader of the Knights of the White Carnation labeled Foreigners. Is there some connection between the suspension and Kirby's group of hate mongers? We'll know more tomorrow, gang, when Clark Kent as Superman takes a hand. So don't miss it. Be sure to listen. Same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at this same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. Hey, what'll you have, gang? Kellogg's Corn Flakes, Rice Krispies, or Pep? Or one of your other favorite Kellogg's cereals? Well, you can take your pick every morning at breakfast when Mom sets out Kellogg's Variety. That's the white, green, and red package with 10 individual packages, each one a serving just for you. One day you'll choose a shredded cereal, next day one that's pot, and next day a flake cereal made from corn, wheat, or rice. Everyone's a treat because it's a favorite Kellogg cereal. Makes breakfast a picnic of fun. So remind Mom to get you Kellogg's Variety. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
It's time for a Condensed Bat-Supe Extra Helping, because sometimes heroes pack a knife and wear a kind of, robe. In this extra helping, the OSS is out to recruit a new spy for their campaign against the Nazis, who, incidentally, are the bad guys. To test that old saying, all's fair in love and war. This is The Trojan Horse, an episode of Cloak and Dagger from May 28th, 1950.
Are you willing to undertake a dangerous mission behind the enemy lines, knowing you may never return alive?
What you have just heard is the question asked during the war to agents of the OSS. Ordinary citizens who to this question answered, yes.
This is Cloak and Dagger.
Black warfare, espionage, international intrigue. These are the weapons of the OSS. Today's story, The Trojan Horse, is suggested by actual incidents recorded in the Washington files of the Office of Strategic Services. A story that can now be told.
August 1942. Report to OSS headquarters in Casablanca from Agent Henri Fontaine in France. Contact with girl Gabrielle Monet was made in the Bluebeard Café in Paris. I went there alone on the evening of the 15th. I sent her a note with a waiter asking her to come to my table when she'd finished her song. Then I sat and waited. German officers were spread about the room as they were spread about all of occupied France. I wondered what they would say if they knew why I had come.
You send me this note, eh?
Oui, mademoiselle. Will you join me?
Why not? I drink with anyone these days.
What will you have, eh?
What have you? Let me taste from your glass.
It is very bad wine.
Huh? You are right. Oh, the only time a girl may get good wine nowadays is when she drinks with the Boche. Never mind, I'm not thirsty.
I enjoyed your song.
Is that what you wanted to tell me?
I think you are wasting your time here in Paris.
Paris is wasting our time on Paris these days.
I can offer you a better position in Casablanca.
What did you say? Who are you?
My name is Henri Fontaine. I, too, have a good position with the American OSS in North Africa.
What are you saying?
Before the Germans came to France, I was a poor poet. They did me a service. Now I'm a rich spy.
You sit here in a room full of Germans and tell me this? What makes you think I will believe you? What makes you think I won't turn you over to the Germans if I do, eh?
Mademoiselle, I am not such a brave man. Neither am I a fool. We have kept you under observation for months. We know you better than you know yourself. Is there anything you'd like to know about yourself?
What do you want of me?
On our side, we have only the very best. Forgers, counterfeiters, cutthroats, and spies. Will you join us?
Just tell me what you want me to do.
Agent Henri Fontaine in France to Agent Steve Lytle in Casablanca. Arrangements have been made to transport the girl Gabrielle Monet to the south of France and then to Casablanca. Awaiting further instructions. Over.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
The roses will bloom early this year, I think.
Oui, but not too early, I hope.
Good, good. I've been waiting for you. It is dark. I can't see you well. Is the girl with you?
She is here. Gabby, say something so our friend will know you are here.
I am tired.
Did you have difficulty reaching my safe in Paris?
Not too much. With swarms of displaced persons all over France to mingle with, and a slight bit of help along the way from the underground, it was not too bad.
Good, good. Now follow me. I will take you to the fishing schooner.
But
I know you're tired. Cheer up, Gabby. You'll have a nice, long trip by water to rest up.
Oh?
And then another nice, long trip by auto to Casablanca.
Oh, I like automobiles. In the old days, I liked nothing better than a pleasant ride.
But Gabby did not like the automobile trip to Casablanca. It was probably nothing like the old days. I drove up front alone while she was fitted in the trunk of the car behind gasoline drums. There were gunny sacks and a Moroccan rug thrown over her. Across everything, a heavy canvas cover lashed down with just enough air left for her to breathe. We drove that way over rough roads for several hours. When it got dark, I pulled over to a side lane and let her out. Gabby, come out.
Oh, my back. It is broken.
I will gladly massage it for you.
You are too kind.
Not at all.
No, thank you.
Pity.
Why did we stop?
To give you a chance to stretch your legs. And a cigarette if you want one.
Oh, I would die for one. Give.
I have one lit here.
Mille merci.
You see? I try to be gentle. I try to make up for the inconvenience I am causing you.
Ça c'est drôle.
I remember what another poet once said. A German, by the way, but not a Nazi. His name was Goethe.
What did he say?
He said, be gentle with women. Remember, they were made from a broken rib.
I am not amused.
I'm sorry.
You are always smiling. Do you enjoy the war, huh?
I am a poet. There is poetic excitement in being behind the lines, working underground. I enjoy being a spy.
Well, I am no Mata Hari.
You will do.
You still have told me nothing. Why did they send for me?
You remember a German named Paul Vogel?
Paul... What do you know of him? Tell me.
Not now. The time is late.
But I must
Throw
know.
away your cigarette.
Why did you mention his...
I said later. We have a long journey ahead. If we pass the border post, I will tell you. If we do not, the words and minutes would only be wasted.
Altolat!
I thought I would never reach the border. It's been a long trip.
Where are you headed?
Casablanca.
Have you anything to declare?
No, nothing.
Let me see your passport.
Here you are. All of a sudden, I spotted a small black dog sniffing and whining at the trunk of the car where Gabrielle was hidden. The customs officer had not noticed him, and I knew I had to find some way to keep him from noticing. One becomes stiff after so long a ride. While he looked over my passport, I went to the rear of the car, picked up the dog by the scruff of the neck, and started to pet him.
Your passport seems to be in order, but what's the matter with Jeff?
Nothing. Perhaps he does not like to be picked up.
If he did, he wouldn't try to bite you. Better put him down.
I knew if I put Jeff down, he'd go back to sniffing around that trunk. I felt like strangling that cute little black puppy.
Well, put him down.
I have taken a fancy to him. How do you feel about selling him to me, eh?
Huh? Well, you are serious, monsieur?
Oui, I like him. Come, how much, eh?
Oh, take him. There are 2 more like him around somewhere.
Thank you. He will liven up the journey.
Wait.
Huh?
Before you go.
Yes?
What is in your trunk?
Huh?
I said, what is in your trunk?
Let me put the dog in the car, and then I will show you. The trunk, I will show you. You see? Gasoline drums.
Yes, I see. Very well. Close the trunk.
I may go?
Of course.
Thank you again for Joff.
August 27th, 1942. Report to OSS headquarters in Washington from Agent Steve Lytell in Casablanca. Fontaine and the girl arrived. I knew as soon as she walked in that Paul Vogel could not have forgotten her. I only hoped her memories of him weren't too strong. Now, as you know, Miss Monet, this is an international zone. We are, in effect, neutrals. In Casablanca, we pass each other in the streets. Germans, Americans, Vichy, and Free French. You can imagine what a hotbed of international intrigue we have here.
Oh, I know nothing of that kind of intrigue.
Then perhaps we can broaden your horizon.
Hold it, Henri. Now, listen to me, Yabby. The head of the German Armistice Commission in Casablanca is a man named Paul Vogel. Does that name mean anything to you?
We knew each other once, before the war.
Knew each other?
He was an attaché to the German consulate in Paris.
You almost married him once, isn't that so?
That is my business.
I'm afraid we've made it our business. Now, Gabby, we've kept close watch on you these past months, and we're sure that you're no Nazi or Vichy sympathizer.
Oh, I hate them all for what they are doing to France.
But Vogel, what are your feelings toward him?
Well, I haven't seen him in years.
That's not answering my question.
If he is a Nazi, I have no feelings toward him.
All right, then. Now, the open secret here in North Africa is the planned American invasion. The closed secret is where and when. Now, that's what Paul Vogel wants to find out for German headquarters.
I still don't understand what
You're to tell him, Cherie.
What?
Henri's right. You're to take up this friendship with him once more. Give him all the information he wants. You'll get it direct from us.
But
now, rest assured it'll be the wrong information. You understand now?
I'm beginning to.
Good. We have a job for you at the Three Lanterns Cafe. Now, starting tomorrow... Agent Henri Fontaine and I were at the Three Lanterns Cafe the next night when Gabrielle opened there. Cafe was packed, but even the crowd around the bar, officers with ribbon chests, waterfront riffraff, and black marketeers, all of them were quiet when she sang. She was wearing a red dress. In the spotlight, her face looked smaller and whiter, and her hair looked blacker. There wasn't a man in the room who could take his eyes off her. I wondered how soon it would be before Paul Vogel came in and saw her, too.
A girl like that could make you forget the war, eh, Steve?
I've got a wife back in Syracuse.
Can she wear red like that?
My wife can be trusted. And this girl? She and Vogel were pretty close in the old days.
I know my own kind. She can be trusted.
I hope you're right. The success of the whole American invasion may hinge on it.
A lot depends on how hard Vogel falls for that little bait up there on the bandstand. Steve, Vogel, he's just come in.
That's all I wanted to see. Come on, let's get out of here.
Excuse us. Pardon?
This table is free, waiter. It will do.
Oui, Vogel. You wish to see the wine list?
That girl. How long has she been here?
The singer, you mean? She started only tonight.
Tell her to come to this table when she's finished. You understand?
Oui, I understand.
No, you don't. You only think you do. Go tell her what I said. And bring a bottle of your best wine.
And I had no idea it was you, Paul, when the waiter came to me. How like you to walk back into my life so quietly after making so violent an exit.
The world is small after all, Gabby.
I'm amazed to find you in Casablanca.
I can say the same of you. What are you doing here?
I arrived here a few days ago, but I've been in North Africa for months. Tangier, Oran, Tunis, singing.
How were you able to leave France after the occupation?
You should know how well I always got along with Germans.
You don't seem angry with me any longer, Liebchen. After that last time, 6 years ago.
Life is too short to be angry for too long at anyone. Besides, I was a fool to have been jealous over that silly blonde with the bad legs. I've even forgotten her name.
Suzanne.
Aha! I see you have not forgotten.
Merci, monsieur.
Oh, it's our wine. Gabi, how good it is to be with you again.
How good it is to be with you, Paul.
For you? For me. Now, we will drink to what is to be, Liebchen.
What is to be?
You could have no better guide through Casablanca than I, Gabi. Come, what else would you like me to buy you from the marketplace? A scarf, perhaps? A gold scarf to put around your hair, yeah.
Have you taken many girls to the marketplace, huh?
Will you be forever jealous of me, Liebling? What is it, the French in you?
It is the woman in me. I imagine you are in great demand by the women here. The chief of the German Armistice Commission.
How did you know that?
I know more than you think.
Oh?
Would it interest you to know the name of one of the most important American agents in North Africa?
Who?
Steve Lytle.
What do you know of him?
I know him. And he knows the details of the planned American invasion.
Come. I will buy you a gold scarf.
Well, have you nothing to say of what I just told you?
I knew that already. I, too, have agents. However, thank you for telling me. I can promise you more than a gold scarf if you find out additional information for me. Is this possible?
It might be. Very possible.
Agent Lytle in Casablanca to OSS in Washington. The girl, Gabrielle Monet, has been in the paid employ of the German government here for several weeks, according to our plan, and will transmit to them the Dakar cover project.
September 1942. Report to OSS headquarters from Agent Monet. I had a feeling that things were going too smoothly. I seemed to be holding my breath, waiting for something to go wrong. And on the night of the 29th, it did. Paul Vogel was in my room above the cafe. We were listening to my record of our favorite song. have to go soon. It is late.
Forget the time. Who would think it would come to this again, Gabi? After that day in Paris, when we quarreled so.
I remember that day. We showed poor judgment to argue out of doors. It was raining. I got a terrible cold in the nose.
Poor Gabi. Let me kiss that poor nose.
Sherry. Paul, you really must go. But before you do, I have a paper for you in my purse. Dates when high officials will be in Casablanca. I'll get it for you.
I want to talk to you.
You're hurting my arm. Let me go,
Germany is
Paul.
paying you well for this information you are
Paul,
giving us.
please.
Some of it is useful information, but none of it is as important as I would like.
I will try to do better.
You had better do better. You know what would happen, Gabi, if I found out you were crossing me.
I would not cross you.
It is nothing for me to
my...
twist your arm like this. Such a small arm. Think what I could do if I really tried to hurt you.
You hurt me now because you don't trust me. What do you want?
You claim to know this American like that.
I do.
You claim you get your information from him.
I
Is
do.
that all he gives you? What about his love? Does he give you that too?
Paul, the shoe is on the other foot. Now it is you who are jealous. Oh, how foolish of you. Think, would I lie to you?
Gabi. Oh, Gabi. If you ever lie to me, I would rather see you dead at my feet than standing looking at me and lying. You hear what I say.
Yes. Yes, I hear. I hear.
No more wine. I must keep my head clear to think of what you have just told me.
Now, are you satisfied that I'm earning my money?
Dakar. So the Americans will land in a few weeks at Dakar. Very likely, very likely. Dakar is strategically important.
It will be more important if the German fleet is there to stop the invasion.
Yeah. That bungled attempt at a landing under de Gaulle's leadership failed, so the Americans probably figure we would not dream that they would try it again in the same place.
One American, Steve Lytle, does not dream you nor this. Are you going to tell German headquarters?
But of course, this is something they will want to know.
He believes it, Steve, every word of it.
Good.
The German fleet is being sent to stop the invasion at Dakar.
Good, Gabi. Good work.
Steve, radio report just in from Gibraltar.
What is it?
No. Let me tell it, Geoff. General Clark will rendezvous on October 21st at Point Agreed near Algiers.
You know what that means? Final preparations for the Iran invasion. Nothing must go wrong now. Nothing.
November 4, 1942. Something very wrong happened. Paul came to my room just before I was ready to go downstairs to the cafe. Paul!
Gabi, your friend Lytle has been playing you for a fool. You hear what I say?
I don't understand.
The invasion is not Dakar. I just learned myself it's to be Oran. Oran! And the German fleet, on my suggestion, is waiting in Dakar for nothing.
Paul.
And will continue to wait for nothing.
Paul, it can't
Do you know
be.
what this will mean to me? Do you realize what the High Command will do to me for this?
Please, Paul.
Ruin.
Perhaps your latest information was wrong about Oran.
No. It all ties in. They, the Americans, wanted me to believe that... Gabby, what had you to do with this?
Now what are you saying? I'm getting tired of your suspicions. One day you trust me, the next day you don't.
You're French? What kind of French?
Instead of questions, ask yourself this. Would I betray you, Paul? Not Germany, but you. Think. Look at me. Look at your Gabby and answer.
No, of course not. Not you. You wouldn't dare. There may still be time to stop the Americans at Oran. I must get back to headquarters and let them know by radio. I should have done that right away instead of coming here.
Oh, have a drink first.
No, later. I'll be back.
It will not be easy for you to tell the High Command this. A drink will fortify you. Yes.
Perhaps you're right. One drink, then.
Paul sat on the edge of the couch, his head in his hands. I remember thinking how very blonde was his hair, how large his hands.
Darling, take your time.
It was not difficult for me to drop half the L tablet from my purse into his glass as I poured the liquor over it.
Oh.
Here you are.
Dankeschön.
Poor Paul. Pauvre petit. You look so tired. Drink.
Where are you going?
To put on the record you like. We played it so often lately, Paul, that one of these days it will just rise up in protest. You tired?
No. No, why should I be tired? I must go now. I've had my drink.
Hear my record through, then you will go.
No. No, now. I must go now. You're so good to me, Gabby. You love me. You love me very much.
His head had fallen on his arms and rested on the table. The tablet had begun to work, as I knew it would. I got the automatic pistol that had been given to me by the Americans and shot him twice through his very blonde head. Report from Agent Gabriel Monet. Fini.
Well, it ought to come any minute now, news of the invasion. I've had word that Eisenhower and Clark were in Gibraltar on November the 8th. I'll let you both know as soon as something comes through on the radio.
Are you all right, Debbie?
Me, don't concern yourself.
You did what you had to do. It took courage.
If I had thought about it longer, perhaps I would not have had the courage. You cannot know.
I think I do.
He meant a great deal to me. A long time ago. I killed him.
Listen to me. I told you something once that the poet Goethe said. He also said this. Give up what perished long ago, and let us love what's living. Do you hear, Gabby? Do you hear?
Écoutez. Yankee, Franklin, Midway, Lincoln, Robert, Harry.
That's it, the code name. Robert's arrived. The invasion's begun. Do you hear?
Did you hear, Gabby? Did you?
Yes, I heard.
And once again, the report of an OSS agent is closed with the words,
Mission accomplished.
A further adventure in black warfare is next week's
Cloak and Dagger.
Heard in today's story were Jane White, Barry Kruger, Leon Janney, Joseph Julian, Carl Weber, Raymond Edward Johnson, Guy Sorrell, and Bernie Gould. Script was by Winifred Wolfe. Music under the direction of John Gart. Today's true OSS adventure was based on the book Cloak and Dagger by Corey Ford and Alistair McBain. This has been a Louis G. Cowan production under the supervision and direction of Sherman Marks.
Well, that wraps up this episode of Condensed Bat-Supe and the first 2 chapters of The Knights of the White Carnation from The Adventures of Superman. Thank you for listening. Be sure to tell your friends to subscribe to Bat-Supe on their favorite podcatcher. We can also be found on YouTube and Facebook. We'll see you next time for another exciting edition of Condensed Bat-Supe as we bring you more of the Knights of the White Carnation and another fine extra helping. Until then, up, and away!
Truth is stranger than fiction. And this is the proof. This is Ripley's. Believe it or not.
The first air-conditioned house in the United States was Lime Air, built in Luray, Virginia by Colonel T.C. Northcott. It was kept cool in summer and warm in winter by air piped from the nearby Luray Caverns. Believe it or not.